Here she goes again. Hide your face, hide your neck, duck your head, wear an NFL football helmet when you are playing in a game versus DiJonai Carrington. Fresh off of clotheslining, a Kane and Undertaker clothesline from hell that she delivered to Sophie Cunningham. This girl is right back on the court, hitting people upside the head once again. This girl needs to be kicked out of the league. She's a menace to the league at this point, and it's unsafe for players to be out there with her.
I need to ask a very serious question. Are we watching professional women's basketball, or are we watching a middle linebacker playing in the NFL with absolutely no helmet? Because what DiJonai Carrington just did on national television was not a basketball play. It was a full contact gridiron style assault. We thought the WNBA would step in. We thought she had learned her lesson, but we were dead wrong. In a sequence of events that has left the entire sports world completely paralyzed with shock, Carrington is actively treating the hardwood like a football field, and she is violently destroying other players. She just committed TWW more shocking, sickening, flagrant fouls, completely leveling defenseless women. And when the referees finally had the guts to blow the whistle, did she apologize? Absolutely not. She threw the most unhinged, catastrophic tantrum in WNBA history and literally stormed off the court. The entire league has officially turned on her. Her career is in absolute jeopardy. And the craziest part of it all, Sophie Cunningham just got the ultimate vindication because Sophie was 100% right all along. Welcome back to the channel, buddy. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you think this NFL-style targeting needs an immediate lifetime ban. And let's break down exactly how DiJonai Carrington just destroyed her entire legacy. To understand the sheer magnitude of this unprecedented disaster, we have to look at the exact moments that just shattered the internet. For weeks, the fans have been screaming at the top of their lungs that Carrington is a physical danger to the rest of the league. We all remember the brutal, unprovoked hit on Sophie Cunningham. We thought the massive public outrage would force her to dial it back. But buddy, she did the exact opposite. She laced up her shoes and decided to play football. During tonight's intensely hostile matchup, absolute chaos erupted in a move that left the broadcast booth completely speechless. Carrington executed a devastating targeted hit. We are not talking about accidentally getting tangled up in the paint. We are talking about lowering the shoulder, dropping her weight, and delivering a blindside hit that looked like a safety laying out a wide receiver. It was a highly aggressive off-the-ball physical assault.
Being dirty once again. The girl cannot help herself at this point. She can't help it. Take a look at this. Okay, you swing at the ball, but then you hit her all in the face with your other hand, and then you put your hands up like you didn't do nothing. You hitting her all in the face. Look at this. Watch her left hand. The right hand right here went to the ball. Watch this left hand. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Enough. When is enough with this chick? Come on. Come on. You hitting people in the face. It's over and over and over. How many times do we have to witness this with you? How many times? How many people are you just going to hit in the face? Let me freeze it right there. It's like every single game you are hitting somebody else in the face. Every game you're hitting somebody in the face like this. And that wasn't even the worst. Take a look at this play right here. This girl's a menace in the league. I'm telling you, she's a menace. It's unsafe for people to be out there with her. It's unsafe. Let's go here. Now take a look at this. You got Tiffany Hayes driving to the rim.
But the nightmare wasn't over. Just minutes later, as the tension in the arena reached an absolute boiling point, she did it again. A second shocking, violent foul, another defenseless player violently leveled on the hardwood. It was a massive calculated statement. DiJonai Carrington is playing without a helmet. She has no regard for human safety, and she is actively trying to destroy the women she is playing against. The stadium erupted in absolute deafening fury. The fans in the front rows were out of their seats, pointing, screaming, and demanding an immediate ejection. The commentators on national television completely stopped calling the game, staring at the monitors in total disbelief. You cannot play NFL tackle football in the WNBA. The referees, who have been shamefully protecting her all season, finally had their backs against the wall. They blew the whistle. The flagrant fouls were called, but it was Carrington's reaction that officially sealed her fate and destroyed her reputation in real time. When you get caught playing dirty, you are supposed to put your head down and walk to the bench. But DiJonai Carrington, she went into a state of total uncontrolled rage. Witnesses describe a complete and total psychological meltdown on the floor. She started screaming at the officials, flailing her arms, and throwing a massive unhinged tantrum. And then the unthinkable happened. Before the referees could even finalize the penalty, Carrington turned her back on her teammates, turned her back on the thousands of paying fans, and furiously stormed off the court. She literally marched straight down the concrete tunnel, abandoning her team in the middle of a live national broadcast. She quit. She threw a tantrum and quit because she couldn't handle the consequences of her own violent actions.
In a society where there has to be a debate involving a collective bargaining agreement that explicitly states that the league is for women. Only players who are women are eligible to play in the WNBA. So one could easily surmise, okay, you're a woman, that makes you eligible. If you're not a woman, you're not eligible. It's simple and plain. What's the complication? The complication is that our society has devolved to a point where we're not clear what defines a woman. At least in the eyes of some. So while Royce White or Enos Cantor Freedom may be accused of trolling and engaging in mockery and being a bit ridiculous, fine. What about the WNBA? What about the WNBA? We will not be used as political pawns. When you gonna wake the hell up? Did y'all see what happened when this young lady got ejected from a WNBA game the other day for a flagrant foul?
The fallout was instantaneous. And buddy, it is completely catastrophic. The WNBA is currently operating in a state of absolute cold sweat panic because the entire league has officially turned its back on DiJonai Carrington. For months, the commissioner's office and the mainstream media pundits tried to defend her. They tried to gaslight the fans into thinking we were crazy, claiming she was just playing intense defense. But you cannot defend a player who commits 2 NFL-style flagrant fouls in one night and then storms off the court like a coward.
This is 2 separate clips he's responded to. He said, get this woman out of basketball. Get her out of here, man. It's freaking ridiculous. It's disgusting. Let's get to what Dave Portnoy had to say here on Barstool in response to DiJonai Carrington. Okay, because he blasted. Not only did he blast Stephanie White, he blasted DiJonai Carrington as well. Let's get into it.
In the WNBA, this is a totally fine reaction, I think, to a play like that. And maybe the story ends there if Carrington doesn't go to the locker room, pick up her phone, and tweet white privilege, which is insane. An absolutely insane thing to say. Now, if you go watch other networks, I'm not going to say it on Fox, but like ESPN's filled with absolute morons. Absolutely have a
Oh my God, yo, he's not playing.
All of morons sitting there discussing this play and talking about whether it was the right call and things of that nature. And they don't even mention the fact that she said white privilege. That is the story. The story isn't that she got kicked out. It's that she tweeted out white privilege as though because Sophie Cunningham is white, somehow that's why she got kicked out. They go on to defend her, the story, the narrative that she's not a dirty player. She makes plays like this all the time. I put together a little clip of DJ Carrington, who is definitely one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA. I don't know if we can roll it, but she's taken her long fingernails. She's scratched Caitlin Clark's eyes out. This is an intentional play. I went nuts on it when it happened. I don't know if we're going to have the other angle. This is a dirty play.
This girl has so many of these type of plays. We can list so many players that she's just done dirty stuff to. DiJonai Carrington is not half as talented as Kennedy Carter. And Kennedy Carter's out of this league. We can get this girl up out of here too. Let's keep it real.
come down with long fingernails, gouge somebody. She's had multiple instances of chasing people down from behind, trying the same SWAT and smashing them in the head and causing mini fights. She pulled another girl's hair. I don't know if we'll get to that.
The internet has completely exploded. Current and former players are taking to social media, utterly disgusted by the display of unprofessionalism. Fans are mass emailing the WNBA front office, demanding a massive multi-game suspension without pay. The narrative has permanently shifted. She is no longer being treated like a fierce competitor. She is being globally labeled as a toxic, dangerous liability who is actively destroying the integrity and safety of the sport. The entire basketball world has drawn a massive line in the sand. Either ban this behavior or lose millions of viewers forever. But amidst all the chaos, the suspensions, and the tunnel tantrums, there is one massive storyline that the media is absolutely terrified to admit. Sophie Cunningham was right. She was 100% undeniably right all along. Do you remember when Sophie took that brutal hit weeks ago? Do you remember when she stood in front of the microphones and warned the entire league that this behavior was escalating and needed to be stopped before someone got seriously hurt? The media mocked Sophie. They called her a complainer. They tried to sweep her warnings under the rug to protect Carrington. But tonight, Sophie Cunningham got the ultimate vindication on national television. Everything she warned us about, the targeting, the unchecked aggression, the lack of accountability, was just proven live in HD for the entire world to see. Sophie didn't even have to say a word tonight. She just got to sit back and watch as Carrington completely self-destructed. It is the ultimate poetic karma. The player who bullied Sophie is now the laughingstock of the entire WNBA, running down the tunnel to hide from her own mess.
There's no hate here. Social issues, I'm all about liberalism. I'm fiscally conservative. I can't stand paying high taxes in New York, New Jersey, and LA. California. But I voted Democrat practically all my life. And that's not to say that I was right about doing so. Damn it. You conservative, you got good points of views. Ain't nobody hating here. Open-minded. And I'm damn sure gonna be even more open-minded in the future because I don't like the direction this stuff is going. You gotta have rules and regulations. You gotta have law. You gotta have order. You can't have this. Sure, the right is maneuvering its way through the terrain and making and politicizing this issue. It doesn't negate the fact that the WNBA left the door open for it to happen. They have dropped the ball. I'm talking about the league office. I'm not talking about the players. And now it's gotten to the point where everything about them is going to be politicized. Got the Florida Attorney General. Clearly it's politicized. I wonder if he would have said that if it was somebody other than Sophie Cunningham, who obviously has made a name for herself speaking up about the issues that she has spoken about as it pertains to protecting girls in competitive sports, which, by the way, I support her position on. If that had been a liberal, or somebody with a liberal thinking mind in terms of that particular issue who spouted stuff opposite of what Sophie Cunningham would have said, would the Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer would he have taken that position then? I don't think so, but I don't know. But the time has come for folks to stop whining about how stuff is being politicized.